Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from Red State dated October 29th, and this is something, if you're following just the mainstream media, you have not seen this, and you'll know about that in a couple of days from now, that the networks have not played this information at all for you, and this is entitled Worse Than Watergate, as Senators Reveal Massive Scope of Biden Spying Efforts in Arctic Frost, which is the name of the operation that was run, was Arctic Frost. And yes, this is really bad. So it says Republican senators blasted President Joe Biden's administration's massive spying efforts against his political opponents and revealed that 197 subpoenas were issued against conservative leaders and citizens. On Wednesday, Senator Chuck Grassley, I should say, Republican of Iowa, said his investigation began in July 2022 following whistleblower disclosures about Operation Arctic Frost, which targeted the communications of numerous GOP senators, including Senator Ted Cruz, Republican of Texas, and organizations under then Special Counsel Jack Smith, as Red State reported. And there's a Fox News thing about it. We'll skip past their embedded tweet there and keep going with the article. It says, based on whistleblower disclosures, we know that weaponized taxpayer-funded agents and prosecutors advanced the investigation, as Arctic Frost advanced that 92 Republican organizations or individuals were targeted, Grassley said, not just President Donald Trump. So Biden just kind of, kept going where his Democratic predecessor, I should say, being Barack Obama, just kept trying to stick it to conservative organizations. So next time someone tries to tell you Donald Trump is corrupt, point them to this. And I guarantee you if it's a leftist, they probably don't even know this happened. It says, we've learned that Special Counsel Jack Smith secretly obtained phone record data from at least 8 senators and 1 congressman, he added. I've recently been informed by Verizon that at least 7 members with Verizon accounts were affected, which includes a hard line for the office of Senator Cruz and a staffer's phone for former Senator Kelly Loeffler, Republican of Georgia. AT&T informed me that they challenged the legal basis for Jack Smith's efforts, and Smith backed down. Well, good for AT&T on that one, because, it was completely illegal what he did. So let's keep going. It says these subpoenas were issued to 34 individuals and 163 businesses, including financial institutions, Grassley explained, pointing out that 197 subpoenas were issued by Jack Smith, which extended to more than 400 Republican organizations, including Turning Point USA and the Republican Attorneys General Association. He said the subpoenas also extended to getting information between these individuals and communications with media companies, including CBS, Fox News, Newsmax, Sinclair, and more. Senator Cruz broke down the details of the subpoena against him from Smith to AT&T, which he said was approved by a judge whom readers have heard the name of, Justice James Boasberg. And you will probably not hear that name. You'll probably remember that name, I should say. God, what was it? Yeah, he's the guy when the first Trump trial. They kept approving everything that the government was trying to go after Trump about. Like, he's corrupt as hell, it seems. And I know Republicans are looking to actually impeach the guy now, and something like that needs to happen so these rogue judges get the idea that, you can't just do whatever you want, and there's not going to be a consequence for it. There's going to be problems, and this guy seems like the tip of the spear. And it doesn't go into who James Boasberg was more, as far as I can tell. There's another story I have on nearly the same thing tomorrow. I wonder if that one will. I've skimmed that one. I don't remember seeing his name. I could be totally wrong about that, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow. But let's keep going anyway. It says, Cruz said Boasberg prohibited AT&T from telling Cruz about the order based on the following insane reasoning. It says, the court finds reasonable grounds that such disclosure will result in destruction of or tampering with evidence, Cruz said, speaking about the order, intimidation of witnesses, and serious jeopardy to the investigation. Says there is precisely zero evidence to conclude that I am likely to destroy or tamper with evidence, he added, or to intimidate potential witnesses. Zero evidentiary basis for that. This order is an abuse of power. This order is a weaponized legal system. Yep, and again, don't let anybody tell you that Joe Biden and his administration weren't corrupt. This is a bigger scandal than Watergate by leaps and bounds, and the Democrats are just trying to act like nothing ever happened. So Cruz then called on the House of Representatives to impeach Boasberg for abuse of power, issuing subpoenas against Republicans that lacked any evidence. And skipping down here, it's Senator Ron Johnson, who is the man in the picture at the article. Just scroll back up. Oops, wrong button. Scroll back up. That's Ron Johnson right there with the beard talking to the microphone, and back down we go. So Ron Johnson, Republican of Wisconsin, didn't beat around the bush, calling Arctic frost the Biden administration enemies list. And remember, Democrats like to say that Trump has an enemies list. Well, here's an actual one. Says the fact that 38 Wisconsinites are on that enemies list, Johnson said. I know most of those individuals. They're God-fearing, country-loving, law enforcement-supporting people who want to see America succeed. The fact that they were targeted is outrageous. And Senator Marsha Blackburn, Republican of Tennessee, said Smith made a how-to on how to write a fishing expedition memo. Says we need to have hearings. We have encouraged the DOJ to refer Jack Smith to the Office of Conduct, Blackburn said. It's worse than Watergate. It is deep. It is wide. And we're just beginning to scratch the surface. And it says it's a developing story, and they'll get more information back to you. Yeah, there's probably a lot more that's going to come out about this. And Jack Smith and that judge, they should be stripped of their law licenses. And in fact, the judge and Jack Smith should never, ever be able to work in the legal field again. As far as I'm concerned, this is seditious behavior. And I think you all know what the penalty for sedition is. And that probably needs to happen in this case. Again, set an example here. Make an example out of Jack Smith and this judge. Start with the judge, and I know what the lefties are going to say, which is, look at Trump, it's a political prosecution. It's like, guys, we have the actual evidence of the things that they did. Like, it's not political when we have actual, tangible evidence here that this was going on. So, I'd probably say even if you can scrape some of Joe Biden's applesauce brains to see if he knows anything about it, him too, because, it's his name that's on the administration. So, yeah, this kind of thing pisses me off, and this should never happen in this country. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And remember, I will have a similar article about this with some different details tomorrow. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.